Hi traders, this is Focus Trader. Welcome to another video. I know it's been a while, but we are working on some really amazing things. And in this video, I'm going to show you which they are. And basically, they are the new version of ICT Liquidity Indicator, which will allow you to basically display more information. And the new and revolutionary tool that will be, I think, mainstream very soon because it revolutionized the way you could backtest smart money concepts and strategies. And also, which will also be topic or title of this video, the ICT cerebral strategy. So this will be a revolutionary tool that a lot of people will be using to find their edges in the market. So without any further ado, let's get into it and let me show you what we have prepared. Let's start with ICT liquidity indicator, and I will be very fast with that. Basically, the settings of this indicator were fine-tuned. They are better organized. You will be able to set your things more easily. But the most important update is the liquidity type option. Well, there are different kinds of liquidity, and the liquidity that we used in this indicator is a pivot liquidity, basically, which means, and I will turn on my drawing tool, that you have some bar, and this bar is a liquidity, creates liquidity point, or is a pivot high or pivot low if there are certain number of bars on the left and right which are lower or higher. Lower for pivot high, which means that this bar will be the highest from all these candles. And actually in this situation, it is 1 and 2. So basically what it means, let me go to settings of the indicator. If I set the number of left bars and right bars to 2, it will create liquidity point if it sees that there are 2 bars on the left and right which are lower, and for pivot low, it will mean that the 2 bars on the left and right are basically having higher low. And actually, let me draw that situation because there's never enough repetition. So this is a pivot low. This is 1, and this is candle number 2. This is 1, and this is candle number 2. So these 2 candles on the left and right have higher low than this candle. So this candle is lowest from them all and has 2 neighbors on the left and right. So this means the condition of left bars and right bars. So basically this was the main thing that we used to decide what the liquidity point or liquidity line truly is. But there are also other ways to recognize that. There are ways like a percent change, which means that to create the certain liquidity point or to draw this liquidity line, the market needs to travel distance, which is, and actually let me switch this to percent mode, which is higher than the 0.05%. And we get some error here. The indicator, the calculator, sorry, the calculation timeout. So we need to make this number higher, I think. And we can see that we get some results. Actually, let me go to lower time frame and let me show you what I mean by the percent change. Well, the distance between this one liquidity point or one swing point and this point needs to be at least, and we have set 0.1%. So if I measure this distance, this is 0.12%. And again, this point was not a structure point because all the time, the distance between these pivot highs or these liquidity points or swing points needs to be at least a certain amount of percent, which is set here in this percent change. So that's another way to display or use liquidity. And this is also something that we'll be able to test in liquidity strategy tester. And there are other ways you can create liquidity, which is basically session high-low. And we have here the settings for liquidity high-low session. So let me actually turn on the background. And you see that currently we are using this time zone or this time frame or this range of time to create this liquidity. As you can see, there's liquidity here on the top and there's liquidity here on the bottom. So basically, this you could use it to create the liquidity for high and low of some specific session, and you can play with settings of these time frames or of these times to see, for example, liquidity of Asia, which is currently here from 18 to 3. So let me set it to 18 and 3. And I am in UTC +2 time zone, so perhaps you will see some different results, but this truly is the session of Asia. So as you can see, we have this high and this low of the Asian session, and as you can see, the liquidity is always expanded, and you see the liquidity of this Asia session here was grabbed here, and then market made some sort of reaction, and also we have this liquidity grab here, and then market reversed, and we have liquidity grab here, which happened almost instantly, as you can see here, this liquidity point, and it happened almost immediately, and then the market pulled back and then continued to the upside to grab another liquidity which was closer. So this is another way to figure out the liquidity. And then there is daily high and low. So if we turn this on, you will see that, and actually let me go to settings, and I will turn on the separators. I will turn on this session breaks, and you will see that this session is basically the day, and we always see the lowest point, which is here, and the highest point, which is over there. And again, here you see this session, this time, and this is the highest point, and this is the lowest point of that session. So as you can see, it draws the things correctly, and that's another function. And of course, we have a week high and low session, the liquidity setting, and the month high and low setting. So you can test for yourself how these liquidity points are working for you. Basically, you can create any strategy around them, and you can play with this here in the settings. So this is what's new in the ICT liquidity indicator. And let me hide it, and let's go to liquidity strategy tester. And I won't go in depth in this video about the liquidity strategy tester. I will also turn off the session breaks, but I will show you just major things, and perhaps I will show you one strategy that could be tested in this liquidity strategy tester. So let me go to settings, and you see here the liquidity type again. So again, we can use pivot high and pivot low, which is basically liquidity based on pivots, the percent change. We can set 3 sessions, for example, Asia, London, and New York, but you could also use just one session, for example, this one or any other you would like to use. And you see, I have settings of this background turned on, so I will turn it off, and also I will hide this. Maybe it will be interesting to show you that when you turn on this background and you see that the color is too much, you can go to setting of that color and lower it down so it's more transparent. So if we click here, you see that it starts to be more transparent. Okay, so let's go with ICT silver bullet strategy in this case. So we will use the liquidity of some session, and that session will be, well, let's not use the silver bullet session, let's use just some random session. So I can use basically this one. If I go to time frame and I will set New York here, which is there, you can see that it's from 5 to 8. So actually, let's go to 11 from 10. And again, we have this background checked. So you see, wow, liquidity was grabbed here. I see some short signal, and immediately this becomes a profitable strategy. It does some 28 strikes, but you don't know what the entry conditions are. So actually, let me go to settings again, and we have the liquidity set. And now, and we have also here checked the delete liquidity at the end of the day. So this basically means that when day ends, the liquidity is deleted if it's not grabbed by the market. As you can see here, the liquidity ends here with the end of the day. Okay, so that's it. You can also delete liquidity on the next day. So basically, it will work for one more day, right? As you can see here. And again, you get some different results in this strategy, but it's not important in this case. You see here that the entry type is a strong bar, which is the signal that I created, I coded, and I backtested, and it's very nice price action signal, which basically it's based on price action, and I won't go in depth with this, but I will go immediately to the FVG, which is basically the entryway that ICT Silver Bullet strategy uses. So I will go to FVG, and if we zoom in, you see that FVG was created here. And I see that I have this invert entry condition turned on, so I will turn it off. And you see that there is a FVG and we didn't enter here. Why? Because there is a setting which first is max number of bars after liquidity was grabbed. So we need to enter within, like here in this case, 5 bars after the liquidity was grabbed, which is here. So in this bar, the liquidity was grabbed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't have any test of this FVG in that specific time session. But actually, let me find if there's some situation where it happens. And yeah, it was here. So you see the liquidity was grabbed here, 1, 2, 3. And in this 4th candle, we have a short entry. And as you can see, we have exit after 5 bars. So this strategy is currently set to exit after 5 bars. What will happen if I use another way of exit? So I have entry type FVG. I need to enter within 5 bars after liquidity was grabbed. And also, there is a duration of FVG order. If you, for example, decide to go with, like, I don't know, 40 bars after the liquidity was grabbed, and you will also go with the duration of FVG order, which basically means how long the order, the pending order, the limit order to enter the FVG. Because when the FVG is created, you set a limit order to enter short in this edge of the fair value gap there. So this basically decides how long the order, the pending order is valid. So I will go here with 40. And if we go here, we entered long because there is a fair value gap. And as you can see, the liquidity of that session was grabbed here. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bars after the liquidity was grabbed. We have our order filled, right? So that's what I'm affecting with that duration of the order. And as you can see, I don't have order to enter here. And why is that? Well, let me measure this distance, and it's actually 18 bars. So if I go to settings, and I see that all these numbers are high enough. So where's the problem? Well, the problem is in the trading session. We have trading session set to 2 to 13. So if I turn it on, you see that this trading session ends here. So I will need to make this trading session a bit longer, for example, to, I don't know, like 16. And we have our order filled right there. So this is another option you have. You can set the trading session you want to be trading. So if we have our liquidity session set to 10 to 11, we will have our entries based in from like 11 to, and actually let me leave 16 there, which is totally okay in this case. I'm just going to show you the features. And as you can see, there is no enter here, even though there is, after the liquidity was grabbed, there is the fair value gap there, and it will be very nice trade, but it's in the evening hours, basically, from the New York perspective. So that's no trade there. So again, let's go and let me show you the exit types. And the exit types are exit after specific number of bars, which is currently set to 5. So after the 5 bars, after we enter, we exit the position, and this is the results we can get. But there is also option to go with, for example, profit target and stop loss, and they will be set to, here you have your profit, here you have your loss, and I will set this to 20 and 20 just to show you how it works. And if we go to this trade here, you see we entered short, and you see that we exited this on 20 pips stop loss. Unfortunately, we didn't have the maximum profit, which was like 10 points. So if I set this to profit target of to be sure, just set 9 there. You see that we have our profit of 9 pips there. And immediately you can see how this strategy is profitable with negative risk reward ratio, because the potential profit is 9 pips and the loss is 20 pips. So we are in a negative region, but we have 74% change profitably. We have 74% profitable trades. So this is truly interesting. So you see that we have some winning strategy right there. Its profit factor is 1.324. And if you go to list of trades, you see the trades here. And basically that's the function of TradingView. So let's again set it to 20 and 20. And we have almost profitable strategy, but I think it will be better to use lower numbers, in this case for a 5-minute time frame of, like, let's set it to, I don't know, 12 and 12. It also depends on the volatility of the specific market, and obviously you can test any variation you would like to, so there are no limits for this liquidity strategy tester. And we have set it now to be expanded. So actually, let me delete it at the end of the day, so we don't trade any liquidity grabs that happened after a while. So we have only the same day entry, and the statistics are here. And we have also this deep backtesting function in TradingView. So I will turn it on and I will backtest it from 2005, from 1st January. And I will do it basically to this day, which is 28th of June. And let's generate report. And this will take some time, so you can sit back, grab a coffee, and of course we'll crop the video right there. Okay, and we have our result. And also important thing to mention, I think that this deep backtesting is available only for premium users of TradingView. And as you can see how this strategy behaves in like 8 years or something like that. So you see that it's 50% chance to win. So if you add some specific filter to this trading strategy, you will probably get a winning system, because 50% almost stable. It's obviously not perfect, so this strategy could be really optimized. We are in Euro USD, so we could play with profit target, we could play with session, we could play with other different settings. So there are a lot of things that can be done to make this strategy better, but you can see the results which this strategy have for over 8 years. That's it for liquidity strategy tester. This was just a short sneak peek to what we'll be able to achieve with this beautiful indicator or tool or tester for strategies. And you could obviously set any combination you would like to. You can test different markets, you can test whatever you'd like to. And of course, we have already tested a lot of markets for a lot of specific strategies, and we found a lot of beautiful edges in different markets. For example, very beautiful edges are in USD CAD, on GBP, JPY, and other market also. So this is what we are working on right now. Basically, it's finished. We can just fine tune how this indicator is used. Perhaps it is a bit more difficult than it needs to be for users, so we'll make also some visual enhancements or enhancements of settings. But I think that this will revolutionize the market as it is for smart money concepts and ICT concepts from the perspective of backtesting and finding the best achievable results and edges you can have in the market. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to use this indicator, well, let's visit our Discord or visit our page, or you can support us also on Patreon. So the link will be in the description of this video, and I will see you next time.